Before we continue with Musaf, Lashabat, Washabat, Rash Chadash, let us remember that some phrases are beyond a particular book or occasion, but in general they may refer to that, though the literal phrase does not mean that. When we talk about ascent, we refer to what we have already been, or what we are inherently, but perhaps we didn't develop. We must expand our vessels, our conception of our vessels. If you want spirituality, put yourself in a situation in which you're surrounded by those who also want spirituality. Shir Hukbur, the Song of Glory. Oh, I guess it's Shir Hukbud. So glory would be honor. An ayam simirut washirim arug ki alik napshi tarug napshi chumda batsal yadak ladat kul raz suduk madi debri bak budak humah labi al dudik al kun adbur bak nak badut washmuk akbud bashiri yid yidut aspara kabudak wala retik admuk aknak wala yadatik bid nabiek basud abdik damik hadur kabud hudak gatlatak wagburtak kanu lakaf taltuk damu autuk wala kapi yashuk wishuwak lapi mashik hamshiluk burb chaziwanut hunk achad bakal demi wanut wach zubak sakna wab charut wash ar rashik bashiba wash charut zakna biyum din wab charut biyum herb kaish malchmut yadyu lu rub chabush kaba ishwah brashu hushiah lu yinu was ruwa gachu thali aurut rashu namla coats whatsu rasisi lila yitpar ki b ki chipats ki wahwa yahya li lathrat tabi katam tahur pazdamut rashu Wutchuk al Matza Kabud Shem Kachu Lachun Wal Kabud Tabi Tapara Tulu Athra Machoput Rashu Kabimi Batrut Kutsutu Toltolyum Shachworut Nuah Hetstuck Tzabi Departu Yala Na Al Rash Shemchitu Suglatu Tahi Bidu Athrat Wutsneef Maluka Tabi Tapart Amusim Nasham Atzrat Andam Masher Yakru Bayanyu Kabdam Paru Ali Wapari Aliu Wakrub Ali Bakri Aliu Touch Wadum Lulbushu Adum Pura Budruku Bubwau Madum Usher Taplin Hurrah Lanu Tamunat Yahweh Langan Aimu Rutsa Bamu Anwim Yapar Yushub Tahlut Bum Lahtapar Rash Debruk Amt Qura Marash Dur Wudur Durshuk Durush Sheet Hamun Shiri Na Alik Wernati Takram Alik Tahlati Tahi Lurashik Athrat Wutpulti Takun Kathrat Tikr Shirut Rush Bayanyuk Kashir Yushur Al Burbanik Burkati Tala Murash Mashbir Machulul Wamulid Tzadik Kabir Wabberkati Tanana Li Rash Wauta Ketchluk Kabushmim Rash Yarab Na Shichi Alik Ki Napshi Tarug Alik. And there's a lot of tamed by instead of you, something goes out or in, joining, prefixes, suffixes. And I shall express the pleasantries and the hymns and sing what's composed, because for you shall my soul pine. The soul goes out to the desired shelter of your hand, to know every mystery of your secret. And speaking of the glory that is attained by you, my heart yearns for being beloved according to your terms. Therefore, I shall speak of glories and the name that has been tamed, the name that is in your hand, I shall honor with loving songs. And if you look at that, the Atzilut, or the Lahut, as it's also called, in Arabic, refers to that, is that the divine names, well, they're not God themselves, but, they're under God's control, those divine qualities. And I'll honor with loving songs. I shall relate the glory that's attained by you, though I see you not. I shall use metaphor for you. I shall describe according to your terms, although I know you not, through the hand of the exemplars that were tamed. They were all servants that were tamed. You give metaphor for the splendorous glory of the power that you've tamed. Your greatness, your strength. They describe the might of the works according to your terms. The material nature and all that is according to, God sets the laws of the universe. They use metaphor for you, but not according to your reality. And they portrayed you according to your deeds. They symbolize you in visions, yet you are a unity containing all the allegories. They envisioned you agelessness. They envisioned you, that they thought of you as old and in virility, and the hair of your head hoary, and yet jet black, aged on Judgment Day, and virile on the day of battle, like a man of war whose powers are many. Of course, we're not saying that God is a male, as we're saying allegory here. The headgear of salvation, he put on his head, salvation for him, his right hand, and his sacred arm, illuminating the dewdrops. His head's filled, his locks are the rains of the night. He shall glory in me, for his desire to me, and he shall be for me of a crown of pride. Well, something lifted out and sticking out. So in other words, you are being humble, but, a form of the best gold upon his head, and carved for his forehead with glorious sacred names, for grace and for glory. He's proud in his splendor, his crown's for him with its prayers. Now God is the justly proud. The treasures are of his head are like youthful days. His forelocks are black ringlets. Remember that in Judaism they like to let the sideburns grow and all that. The abode of his righteousness is the horn of his splendor. May he raise it up to his greatest joy. May the nation that is treasured be in his hand like a crown and like a royal tiara, the pride of his splendor. From infancy he bore them, from their infancy he bore them and put them in place like a crown because they're precious in his eyes, and he honored them. His fringes' splendor upon me, and my fringes' splendor upon him. And he is near to me when I call to him. He is white and red. His garment will be bloody red when he tramples as in a press on his coming from Edom. And okay, so the restoration will be from the south, not the north, the south. So this is not the modern state of Israel here. But white, red, and black are particularly the colors referred to using the feminine. And we already talked about night here. And he showed the fringes not to the humble, and the likeness of God as verb and noun before his eyes. Well, Exodus 33, what's the verse? Says something along the lines of, it doesn't say God mooned Moses, it said God showed Moses what he left behind. Sort of that lotus feet stuff and the Hindu stuff, right? He describes his people, that glorify the humble, enthroned upon praises. He glories with them. That echoes a psalm verse, but I don't remember which one. In the beginning of your word is truth. One reads it from the scriptures start, from the people that seek you, expounding each generation's fate. Well, seeking according to the divine terms. Jihad and fisibilillah, as the phrase goes. Which takes it a step further than Bismillah, right? You're just not doing things in the name of God, you're doing things in the way of God. And the elaboration is, of course, the real elaboration is for God. Place the multitude of songs before you, as one pleases, and my glad song bring near to you. May my praise be a crown for your head, and may my prayer be accepted like incense. May the poor man's song be dear in your eyes, like the song that is sung over the offerings. Yeah, you try to put a good sound and stuff into the religious practices, and the person that may the blessings exalt upon the head of the sustainer, creator, life giver, mighty in righteousness. And remember, the word righteous also refers to the Jupiter principle, right? Yep, Jupiter principle. And to my blessing, and your head to me, and take it to yourself, like the finest incense. And now you could just not say principle, but the you could see Jupiter honored. To my blessing, nod your head to me, and take it to yourself, like the finest incense, and may my prayer be sweet to you, for my soul shall long for you. Shall long, in your hands. And this alternates between the person reading and everybody says it, and it ends with everybody saying it. So, 2 lines, but this final line is just 1 line. Ya Rab to Alik. Luck, Yahweh, Hagdullah, Wa Abora, Wa Tapara, Tapart, Wa Nutsach, Wahud Ki Kul Bashmim Wabarts Luk Yahweh Ham Mulka Wa Matansha Lakul Rash Mi Yamlul Abarut Yahweh Yishmiah Kul Tahlatu. And almost thought for a second that we were going to actually go through the Sephiroth in this thing, because we had Tapara, Gabora, Dula, which could be names of, like, let's just say the equivalent of the pelvis, and before that, the right and the left elbows. Yours, God, is a verb and noun, is the greatness, strength, and splendor, the triumph and the glory, all that is in the heavens and the earth. Yours, God, is a verb and noun, is the kingdom and the sovereignty over all leaders. 1 Chronicles 29:11. Who can express the might of the acts of God as a verb and noun? Who can declare his praise? Psalm 106:2. And we have Shir Shul Yum. The song of the day. Hiyum Yum Shabbat Qadash Shabu Hiyu Halwim Amrim Babit Ham Qadash. Today is the Sabbath on which the Levites would sing in the house that has the quality of holiness. And Tahlim Tzub, so that would be Psalm 92. And let us remember that Sabbath is the sunset of Friday to the sunset of Saturday. And I know this is the Jewish sequence, but a lot of people may not get that. They may think it's Saturday, or they may think it's Sunday. And what they call the New Testament doesn't change the Sabbath. It doesn't say that things start at midnight or at 12 or something now. The spiritual day starts at sunset. Mizmur Shir Liyum Hashbat Thub Lahdut Lehwa Wal Zimmer Lashmuk Aliyun Lahgid Bumqar Chasduk Wamunatuk Balilut Ali Ashur Wali Nabul Ali Hagiyun Baknur Ki Shamchutni Yahweh Bab Alak Bam Ashi Yadyuk Arnan Mahqadlu Mashik Yahweh Mad Amku Mach Shubtik Aish Bar La Yid'a Waksil La Yabin At Zat Babrach Vrashayim Kamu Ashab Witzitzu Kol Pali Aun Lashumdum Adi Ad Wata Marum Lalam Yahweh Ki Hana Abik Yahweh Ki Hana Abik Yabdu Yit Purdu Kol Pali Aun Wat Rum Kuram Karni Balti Bushman Ranun Watbuth Aini Bashuri Bakmim Ali Mrayam Tashmana Azni Tadiq Katmer Yipruch Kars Bulbanun Yishgah Shatulim Babit Yahwa Batzarut Alhinu Yibrichu Aud Yanubun Bathsheba Dashnim Waranim Yahyu Lahgad Ki Yashur Yahweh Thori Wala Aulata Bu. Vibrating with songs for the time period known as the Sabbath, with a goodness for the thanking God as a verb and noun, and to sing praise to the name according to your terms. O exalted one, to relate your kindness at the dawn, dawn is sunrise, to about an hour and a half on average before. Your faith in the nights upon the 10-string instruments and the lyre, with the singing accompanied by a harp, kind of like that Raja music in India, where they think of scripture or they represent it. There's what's the people of music or something like this? They translated the Quran into musical annotations and they play that. For you've gladdened me, God is a verb and noun, with your deeds at the works of your hands. I shall sing gladly. And how great are your deeds, God is a verb and noun. Exceedingly profound are your thoughts. A boor can't know, nor can a fool understand this, when the evil bloom like grass, and all the workers of wickedness blossom. It is to destroy them all till eternity, but you remain exalted forever. God is a verb and noun, for behold your enemies. God is a verb and noun, for behold your enemies shall perish. Dispersed shall be all the doers of iniquity, as exalted as a unicorn shall be my horn. I will be saturated with ever fresh oil. My eyes have seen my watchful foes. When those who would harm me rise against me, and my ears have heard their doom, and particularly the person reading will say the part that says the righteous, or you could say Jupiter, will flourish like a date palm, like a cedar in Lebanon. He'll grow tall, planted in the house of God as a verb and noun, in the courtyard of the God of this place. They'll flourish and will still be fruitful in old age, vigorous and fresh. They'll be to declare that God as a verb and noun is just. The rock going out, in whom there isn't any wrong. So, basically devoid of wrong, literally. And from the new moon of Elul, is that the first month, to Shemini Eretz, Psalm 27 is said. And And if someone's mourning, they repeat the mourner's Kaddish again? L'dud Yahweh Auri Wishai Mami Eira Yahweh Mauz Chia Mami Aptur Bakrub Ali Mrayim Lakol At Bashri 3 Webi Li Hma Kushlu Wanplu Tuchna Ali Machna La Yera Labi Takum Ali Mulchama Bazat Ani Buthach Achet Shalti Mat Yahweh Alta Abqash Shabti Bambit Yahweh Kol Yami Chia Letzut Banam Yahweh Wolbakar Bahiklu Ki Yitzpani Baska Biyum Ra Yastirni Bastar Ahlu Batzur Yerumani Wata Yerum Rashi Al Abi Sabibuti was Bacha Bahlu Zabchi Tru'a Ashira Wazmara Lihwa Shema Yahwa Qoli Akra Wachani Wani Lak Amr Labi Bakshu Pani At Panik Yahwa Abqash Al Tastur Panik Mamni Al Tathbath Abdak Azrati Hiyat Al Tathshani Wal Tazbani Al Hi Yashai Ki Abi Wami Azbuni Wihwa Yaspani Horni Yahwa Durkuk Wanchani Barch Mishur Lam'an Shari Al Tetani Banpush 3 Ki Kamu B Adi Shakar Weepach Chamas Lula Hamnati Rout Bathub Yahweh Bartz Chiyam Gwa Al Yahweh Chazak Wiantz Lebek Wakwa Al Yahweh. And remember that Chamas means brutalized. So if there's some problem with their action, is it because others have afflicted them? to that point. And similar words include Hamas, which means besieged, resistance. Again, aside to sympathize with, right? The very words given. And Chamas is the five. So the people of the five, there's some other meaning to that too. So for David, implying the idea of revelation, but some things we find out elsewhere that Satan's the key musical instrument player. Anyways, of David, God is a verb and noun, is my light and salvation. Who shall I fear? God is a verb and noun, is the strength. While the strength of my life belongs to God as a verb and noun, whom shall I be fearful of? When the evildoers approach me to eat my flesh, my tormentors and my enemies against me, it's they who stumble and fall. Though they raise an army to besiege me, Hamas means the besieged, my heart would not fear. Though war would arise against me, in this I trust. One thing I ask of God as a verb and noun, that I shall seek, that I dwell in the house of God as a verb and noun all the days of my life, to behold the sweetness of God as a verb and noun, and to contemplate in his sanctuary. Indeed, he will hide me in his shelter on the evil day. He'll conceal me in the concealment of his tent. He'll lift me upon a rock. Now my head is raised above my enemies around me, and I will slaughter the offerings in his tent, accompanied by joyous songs. I will sing and make music to God as a verb and noun. God as a verb and noun. Hear my voice when I call. Be gracious to me and answer me. On your behalf, my heart has said, seek my presence. Your presence, God as a verb and noun, do I seek. Conceal not your presence from me. Repel not your servant at Agner. You have been my helper. Abandon me not, forsake me not, God of my salvation. Though my father and mother have given up on me, God is a verb and noun, or gather me in. Teach me your way, God is a verb and noun, and lead me on the path of integrity, because of my watchful foes. Deliver me not to the wishes of my tormentors, for there have risen up against me false witnesses who breathe violence, and particularly the person leading says that if I didn't trust that I would see the goodness of God as a verb and noun in the land of life, hope towards God as a verb and noun, strengthen yourself, and he will give you courage and hope. Upon the God as a verb and noun. And if there's a mourner present, this point is where people would say the mourner's Kaddish.